Hey, what's going on, guys? So, today is March 22nd, and it is my 20th wedding anniversary. Freaking 40 years old, man, and I'm already celebrating my 20th wedding anniversary. And who would have known that a guy like me could have been married that freaking long? That is freaking insane. And also, today, since it's a special day, it is a special video. I have decided to bring Bubba down here. And you know what? I've never gotten the opportunity to bring the Foxbox. So Fox gets the opportunity to make his special Waddy's channel introduction. So I get to have my eldest down here for the first time. He gets to be on video. Poor guy. He is a senile old man, so my wife always refers to him as our marriage kitty. And we got him back in 2005, so it's like, hey, almost as long as we've been married, we've had him. So I kind of feel like for this particular video, it's nice to kind of have him as kind of like a kind of like what's a good terminology for this? Don't you hate that when you're trying to look for words and you're trying to pick words out of the air and you can't find the right words? But a couple days ago, man, I was talking about the adoption process, right? And I feel like, all right, stop struggling. So I kind of feel like when you adopt pets, it should be like a permanent thing, right? When you adopt pets, sorry. Oh, Bubba was fussing, so I kind of had to take him upstairs. Anyways, back to story time. I kind of feel like anytime that you adopt a pet, it's like adopting kids, right? It's not problem child where you adopt. Why do I always get calls anytime I film a video? You adopt a kid, you can't handle them, and so you take them back to the orphanage type of deal. Problem Child, man, that's another great movie, great non-horror related movie that I grew up watching 10 million times. But 2005, one of my friends in the Army, she adopted Oscar. That was his name back in 05. And, she was having issues, loss of twins during a pregnancy, and our unit was deploying to Iraq for the first time in 05. So her husband, obviously, I think he was the same unit, not the same company. Like, I don't know what unit they were, but her husband was deploying, and I think she was getting out on medical leave or something. So for whatever reason, she was not taking the cat with her. Hey, she knew that me and my wife had a cat, so like, hey, do you want this cat? And I knew my wife was gonna love having another cat in the house, so I'm like, sure, why not? So it was kind of like a gift for my wife, so I decided to pick up the cat and take it. And hey, freaking 20 years later, that cat has outlived everyone. He was a kitten at the time. My wife keeps utilizing like our anniversary date, March 22nd, as his birth date. I don't know when that cat was born. So we got him in around, let's say, November of 2005. So, our unit deployed in like December 2005. So, I mean, he could have been born around March. It's possible. March, April time frame. It's possible. So, I mean, the dates could match up. Makes sense. So I don't mind utilizing our anniversary date as, his birthday. It makes it simplifies the process, right? But, since then, her first cat, Missy, that cat she got back in like 1992. And that cat she had for like 19 years. I mean, that was her baby. I mean, that she treated that kid better than most parents treat their children. So she lost that cat in 2011 after 19 years of having that cat. So, I mean, for her, that was absolutely heartbreaking. So, obviously, Fox was a kitten. So, obviously he outlived Missy. Since then, in 2008, right before I went on my second deployment, we adopted a couple other cats when we were in Fort Hood. So that's where we got Persia, who was already pregnant at the time that we got her. So she had a bunch of kittens. If I was smart, I would have given up Persia and kept one of the kittens, because oh my god, that cat, that mouth on that one, oh my god. They call that cat a fire spirit. Jesus, they were not kidding. You could not even walk around that cat without her, like, geez. And I had to put up with that one for years. Jesus, that cat. We also got Jinx in 2008 as well, same time. So, and then while I was on deployment, for whatever reason, my wife decided to pick up 2 more cats. So Tux, we got him. I guess he wandered into the backyard, the tuxedo cat. So she took him in, and while she was going to college, I guess one of her college classmates told her about another cat that they had found or whatever. So she literally drove to the college to pick up Pepe, and we had him for a bunch of years. I think Pepe died in like 2016 or something, 2017. Well, yeah, around 2016. I think he had like throat cancer or something. So we had him for about 7 or 8 years. Tux, I think, just died in like 2021. I don't understand how Tux died. Like he got sick. He had like cancer or something. I'm like, never. That had to be like the healthiest freaking cat in the world. Like, how does this cat out of nowhere all of a sudden get cancer? That was so stupid, right? But that cat was a bottomless pit. And my wife likes to say that, because when we got him, he was so used to being an outdoor cat, always scrounging for food and everything. And then all of a sudden when we got him, he always had that outdoor cat mindset that, when was his next meal or where was his next meal going to come from? So, no matter how many years we had him, he was always going to have the mindset regardless. So, but we had Tux for probably 13, 14 years, like that. So, that was a good cat. That was extremely sad. I miss Tux. That was a good boy right there. I think Jinx just died in April 2023. And he had been sick for years. And he lasted a whole lot longer. Persia just died last summer. I think like July of 2024. And that was very surprising. And I think the second that whenever you came near her and she started being quiet, that was a good hint that stuff was wrong with her, right? So here's Fox outlasting every one of them. Back in 2011, right after Missy died, my wife, she got a new kitten, Cubby. So Cubby is still here. She's 14 now. So we still have the oldest cat. We have the youngest cat. So we got the 20-year-old and we got the 14-year-old left. My wife keeps wanting me to get new cats, but I'm like, dude, at some point I'm gonna want to travel, right? Go to Japan or something, and I don't know what it's like having kids. You want to travel, you want to do all these things, but you can't do that with the cat. So I'm like, wait to at least give me a couple of years beforehand, right? I mean, I'm not praying for these cats to die. Of course not. I'm gonna be super freaking sad when I don't want these cats. No. especially Cubby. I mean, that cat's kind of like growing on me. Like, I've become her favorite. I mean, that's my little kid. That's my little baby right there. I don't want anything to happen to her. No. So, and Fox, I mean, that's my dude right there. Like, I call him Bubba. You know, that's my dude right there. So, all right. But this is my anniversary video after all, right? Special anniversary video. I met my wife when I was 17 years old. How many people out there can say they met the love of their life at 17? And I've always said, my wife, to me, yeah, even back in high school, I used to tell her she was like the female version of myself, which was freaking awesome. I mean, we always had the same interests. I mean, the same kind of very similar personalities and stuff. So it was so easy to freaking be around her. She always had these little quirks and this little weird, quirky laugh and stuff. She doesn't do it anymore, but I knew everybody used to make fun of her, and I used to laugh at her as well, kind of. But it was so adorable and endearing. And she hasn't done that little weird laugh in years, and it's sad because I miss it. It was like I said, it was entertaining. One of the things I should have done is before I left for basic training, we should have gotten married before that, because that way she could have had all of her benefits, and she could have had all the extra pay while I was going through basic training in AIT. Plus, being in Chicago, oh my God, she could have raked in the housing allowance benefits and the food allowance and all that. Because shoot, Chicago allowance, Illinois, she probably could have got like $2,000 a month in housing allowance alone. Because damn, we messed up big time there. But no, while she was while she was on like spring break or something from college in 2005, she came out to Killeen to visit me. So I took a week of vacation from the military. Obviously, I didn't go anywhere. I just stayed in the barracks, and she came to stay in the barracks with me, which technically she's not supposed to, but oh well. My roommate didn't care, and we didn't tell anybody. Rule breakers. People do that from time to time. I think most people don't give a rat's ass. I mean, like I said, as long as you're not screwing up, you're not messing up, not drinking and causing a ruckus, nobody's really going to say anything. Yeah, we got married then, and it was freaking awesome. It's been, she moved down. She went back to Chicago, finished up her rest of her semester. A few months later, I got us our first apartment in June. She moved down to Killeen, and we lived together for about 6 months until I deployed in December of 2005. You know what I'm gonna do? There's this photograph that I have saved on my phone. I'm gonna use that as my thumbnail for this video, and it's very fitting because in 2003, when I proposed to my wife, this shows you the romantic that I am. I remember telling the story to others, and they're like, "You're a freaking weirdo." They look at me like I am some kind of freaking creep, but it's freaking awesome. You guys know I'm a freaking horror obsessive, right? And because I've grown up with horror, I am very desensitized. I could sit there, watch Saw with a big old bowl of ice cream out. Oh man, that's messed up. Oh man, like guys tend to get sliced in half, or watch the Terrifier, like not even look away, but like, eh. Most people be like, I'm like, nah. when you grow up watching stuff like that, it's like it becomes second nature. You don't want to think twice about it. I the day that I proposed to my wife, I was a senior in high school, and this had to be probably, I want to say, like October, maybe October, November of 2003. And I was 18 years old. Yes, I bought a wedding ring when I was 18, and I had this wedding ring, engagement ring, burning a hole in my pocket for probably a couple of months. One day, we were at her mall in Chicago. They call it, I think it's like the Cicero Mall or something. So closest mall to me, and where I lived, was the Lincolnwood Mall, but that was like probably the big mall. And then her mall, because she lived, I mean, she lived obviously much further away from me, about 7 to 10 miles away from where I lived. But my school, Lane Tech, if you go down one street down Western Avenue, about 5, 6, 7 miles, my house was down that way. But so if you're going that way, that was where I lived. But if you go down this way, that's where she lived. So it's kind of like L-shaped, right? And if you go down that way, down that street, Addison is, towards her house. And if you go down Addison the opposite way, you're heading towards Wrigley Field, right? So one day we're at the Cicero Mall, and we go into this ring shop, and we're looking at wedding and engagement rings. And she looks at this one engagement ring, and her freaking eyes just light up. And oh my god, I saw that was the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. I mean, she was almost in tears. I mean, she was so freaking happy. I could not resist the temptation to come back at a later date and make sure I bought her that damn ring. Now I'm 18 years old, okay? I am working at freaking Sara Lee Outlet, making $7.50 an hour. And for me at Sara Lee, I only work like after school. And Sara Lee closes at like 7 o'clock on the weekdays, 6 o'clock Saturdays, 4 o'clock Sundays. This is not a store that stays open, late at night or anything like that. So I'm only working anywhere. Some weeks I might only work 4 hours a week. Sometimes I might work 9 hours a week, 11 hours a week. We're not talking a lot of hours. So for me to go out and spend like, what was it, $2,500 or $3,000 on a freaking wedding ring? Yes, that's what I paid for the damn ring. At that point in my life, massive amount of money. But you know what? It was worth it to make sure that she got the wedding ring of her dreams. And this isn't someone that, I would have been married to for 8 months, couple years. Here we are 20 years later. Best investment I could have possibly made. So after a couple of months, I'm like, man, when is the best time for me to possibly propose? And it's 2003, so we go to see the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the Jessica Biel remake. There is a scene in the movie where I don't remember the characters' names, but Jessica Biel, her boyfriend, where he's strung up upside down, and a wedding ring or engagement ring falls out of his pocket, and that scene broke my heart. It really spoke to me in that particular moment, and I'm like, damn. I'm watching that scene, and I'm like, what happens? What if something bad happens? Car wreck, I die, or what's something bad happens, and I don't have the opportunity where I propose, and she doesn't ever know how I feel, that I wanted to propose to her. So I'm like, screw it. now is better than ever. Later on that evening, yes, I proposed to her after watching the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I tell this story, people look at me like I'm a freaking nut job. They look at like, dude, you are such a romantic. You watch a bunch of teenagers get sliced up, and this is how you propose to the woman you want to marry. Got to do what you got to do. Oh God. Nowadays, it's like it's winter time, and there's ice on the ground. And you know our house here in Louisville, like our driveway, when you pull into the driveway is on a downward slant, and then it kind of curves behind the house, right? And you got this big open concrete area behind the house, and then you got like two doors, and the doors push the button, the doors rise up, so you got two basically parking spots. We can park the car for the garage. I never park inside the garage because, like I said, the garage to me isn't really a place where you park. For me, it's storage. It's like my warehouse where I store my items. It's my gym setup, etc. So I just park in the back area. But during the wintertime when it's iced up, and especially with that uphill climb, if there's ice on that, you're trapped. You're not making it up that damn hill. If you haven't shoveled that stuff out, laid down any salt, you're screwed. You're trapped. You're stuck until it melts. So one day, I'm in the car and I'm trying to drive my way up there, and my wife, she's walking down the hill, whatnot, and I don't know what happened. Maybe she was just coming out of the house to come help me, and she slips on the ice. It falls on her back and butt and everything. Now she just had surgery probably a few months earlier, maybe the year before. I don't remember. Maybe this was 2019, maybe 2018. I don't know. So it goes from those type of memories, thinking how much I loved seeing her beautiful face and how her eyes lit up seeing that wedding ring, to pushing the button, window comes down, duck the head out the window. You all right? That that's how things have changed over 20 years. My poor baby. It's like she is expecting me to jump out of the car. Oh my God, baby, are you okay? Are you okay? And I'm like, man, I don't got time for this. You okay? You good? Awesome. Oh man, I talked way too much. This was supposed to be like a 10-minute video, guys. But when I start chatting, I won't shut up. So this 10-minute video was more like 25 minutes. Whatevs. Hopefully, I just want to put out a nice little anniversary video. Maybe you guys enjoyed the stories, maybe not. But I kind of wanted to introduce Fox to the channel. Maybe at some point I'll have Cubby come on the channel, give her a little introduction. But tomorrow will be the magazine review as normal. And today I also got in the new Zombie Sailor figures. I haven't opened up the box yet, but I'm assuming it's the Series 4 figures with Bad News Brown, Abdullah Butcher, Ric Flair, etc. So if I don't put that out on Monday, that might be probably Thursday or Friday, because on Wednesday I still want to do this review, kind of go through this booklet. So thanks for letting me chat with you guys. Talk to you in the comments, and see you guys in the next video. Take care, everybody.